In Judaism, views on abortion draw primarily upon the legal and ethical teachings of the Hebrew Bible, the Talmud, the case-by-case decisions of responsa, and other rabbinic literature. Orthodox Judaism. Due to the diversity within Orthodox Judaism, there are a range of halakhic opinions about abortion, though they generally prohibit abortion except in quite limited circumstances. All agree, however, that abortion is not only acceptable but mandatory to save a woman's life. In 2001, Jewish ethicist Daniel Eisenberg summarized the typical exceptions permitted by some authorities. Judaism recognizes psychiatric as well as physical factors in evaluating the potential threat that the fetus poses to the woman. However, the danger posed by the fetus must be both probable and substantial to justify abortion. The degree of mental illness which must be present to justify termination of a pregnancy is not well established, and therefore criteria for permitting abortion in such instances remain controversial. Some Orthodox law decisors forbid abortion to prevent the birth of a severely defective fetus. Nonetheless, on scattered occasions, rabbinic authorities have issued more lenient rulings on abortion. Notably, a recent rabbinical authority holds the minority view that a child with known Tay-Sachs disease may be aborted due to its dismal prognosis. As Eisenberg notes, Rabbi Waldenberg allows first-trimester abortion of a fetus which would be born with a deformity that would cause it to suffer, and termination of a fetus with a lethal fetal defect such as Tay-Sachs up to the end of the second trimester of gestation. Among Orthodox Jews, abortion has re-emerged as a controversial topic due to the debate over stem cell research. In general, Orthodox Jewish medical ethics tend to favor medical research. Some interest has been articulated to support stem cell research and, in so doing, demonstrate Jewish law's leniency toward abortion of pre-embryo cells. Thus, Eisenberg emphasizes that Rabbi Yechiel Weinberg clearly held that there is no prohibition of abortion before 40 days according to Rabbi Trani's opinion, since there is no limb to injure prior to formation of a recognizable fetus at 40 days. Rabbi Weinberg himself at first permitted abortion prior to 40 days, but later reconsidered his position, not because of the prohibition on abortion, but out of different considerations. In writings on stem cell research, Rabbi Moshe David Tendler has supported the use of pre-embryonic cells, whereas Rabbi J. David Bleich has opposed destruction of stem cells. Conservative Judaism. The Rabbinical Assembly Committee on Jewish Law and Standards takes the view that an abortion is justifiable if a continuation of pregnancy might cause the woman severe physical or psychological harm, or when the fetus is judged by competent medical opinion as severely defective. The fetus is a life in the process of development, and the decision to abort should never be taken lightly. Thus, the conservative position is in line with some of the Acharonim who permit an abortion in case of acute potential emotional and psychological harm. Before reaching her final decision, conservative Judaism holds that the woman should consult with the biological father, other members of her family, her physician, her rabbi, and any other person who can help her in assessing the many grave legal and moral issues involved. Reform Judaism. Reform Judaism permits abortion, not only when the woman's life is at stake, but also when a pregnancy is a result of rape or incest. When through genetic testing, it is determined that the child to be born will have a disease that will cause death or severe disability, and the parents believe that the impending birth will be an impossible situation for them, and for several other reasons. More generally, the reform perspective on abortion can be described as follows. Abortion is an extremely difficult choice faced by a woman. In all circumstances, it should be her decision whether or not to terminate a pregnancy, backed up by those whom she trusts. This decision should not be taken lightly and can have lifelong ramifications. However, any decision should be left up to the woman within whose body the fetus is growing. The reform movement has acted to oppose legislation that would restrict the right of women to choose to abort a fetus, especially in situations in which the health of the woman is endangered by continued pregnancy. This pro-choice position has been linked by some reform authorities to the value that Reform Judaism places upon autonomy, the right of individuals to act as moral agents on their own behalf. In writing against a legal ban on so-called partial birth abortion, Rabbi David Ellenson, president of the Reform Movement's Hebrew Union College, has written, "This law as it has been enacted unquestionably diminishes the inviolable status and worth that ought to be granted women as moral agents created in the image of God." Jews and abortion policies. In the United States, conservative Judaism, Reconstructionist Judaism and Reform Judaism are usually aligned with the Interfaith Religious Coalition for Reproductive Choice. Orthodox organizations such as the Orthodox Union and Agudas Yisrael have occasionally partnered with pro-choice organizations when necessary to ensure that abortions will be available to women whose lives are endangered by the fetus. In July 2012, Tablet magazine, an online Jewish publication, quoted the Public Religion Research Institute's 2012 Jewish Values Report. American Jews are overwhelmingly in favor of abortion in all or most cases. There is little denominational or demographic variation on this level of overall support, the author went on to summarize. That's 93%, folks. The report goes to explain that while opinions are more varied by political affiliation among Jews, over 75% of Jewish Republicans believe that abortion should be legal in all or most cases. From the data, it seems that Wasserman Schultz isn't saying anything that isn't reflective of the vast majority of Jewish opinion. In fact, it seems that access to abortion is the issue upon which the most Jews agree. Polls of Jews in America report that 88% of American Jews are pro-choice. In Israel, abortion is allowed with the approval of a termination committee if the woman is unmarried, because of age, the pregnancy was conceived under illegal circumstances or an incestuous relationship, birth defects, risk of health to the mother, and life of the mother. According to the Israel Central Bureau of Statistics report from 2004, in 2003 most abortion requests were granted, with 19,500 legal abortions performed and 200 requests for abortion denied. Reasons for termination went as follows. The woman was unmarried, because of illegal circumstances, health risks to the woman, age of the woman and fetal birth defects.